Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ.
Aloha, I'm Phoebe Chang.
I'm Riley Craighead.
And I'm Anna Bryson. We're coming to you today from the wonderful campus of Kainalu Elementary School, the home base for this episode of HIKI NŌ, the nation's first statewide student news network.
HIKI NŌ means can do, and in this episode you'll see what students from the state of Hawaii can do with technology and a lot of hard work. Schools from across the state have worked together to create today's show.
From Kauai, we have Kula Niihau, Kekaha Public Charter School.
We'll go to Kealakehe High and Waiakea High Schools on the Big Island.
From Oahu, we'll hear from Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama, Castle High,
and of course your host for this show, Kainalu Elementary.
On this show, you'll hear from diverse voices from all over the island chain,
telling stories that connect us all
on HIKI NŌ.
Before we start the show, we'd like to recognize the grant organizations that made HIKI NŌ a reality.
They believed that Hawaii could create the nation's first statewide student news network. They put their faith in us and said can do, and for this we say mahalo.
We're going to begin today's show from the beautiful campus of Kainalu Elementary School here on Kailua, Oahu. Did you know that in the early 1900s, where Kainalu is, there was a horse race track? Mr. Harold Castle donated 10 acres of land to help build the school. That is why our school name is Kainalu, Mr. Castle's middle name. What do you give someone who already has everything he needs? Kamehameha Kapalama students discover a treasured gift that doesn't cost a thing.
E mo'opuna na Kamehameha ua hala. Me ka naawau I ho'opiha ia I ka lu'ulu'u. Ua ini mai maluna o mako. Ke kaumaha nui o ka paholo ana I mua o ka aina. Mai Hawaii a Niihau ka lono ua make ke kamali'i wahine pauahi. Ua pau oye ka make. And here is the first article in Hawaiian about our beloved Ali'i passing. This is absolutely the most beautiful Hawaiian, and none of us who are non-native speakers can ever create something like this.
While this story may have greater pertinence to us here at Kamehameha Schools, imagine its impact on the entire Kingdom of Hawaii back in 1884. Events small and large were captured in over 125,000 pages of newspapers printed entirely in the Hawaiian language. Kamehameha School's Kapalama has experienced numerous changes this year, including the retirement of the school's beloved headmaster, Dr. Michael Chen. With his retirement, this remarkable man humbly asked thousands of students, faculty, and staff to serve future generations of Hawaiians by perpetuating the Hawaiian culture through its ancient newspapers.
To me, it's so critical because a lot of these newspapers are getting old, and once they're gone forever.
Kamehameha High School students challenged themselves to meet a goal of transcribing 2,300 pages as part of the Ike Ku'oko'a campaign.
Ike Ku'oko'a was set up to have people centered in Hawaii manually turn the newspaper repository into a searchable body of text. This could have been done either by computer or by low-priced labor elsewhere, but doing it here involves people in the Hawaiian community directly.
Our ability to quote-unquote digitize these writings by manual transcriptions, I think it's a novel way to do it, it's an interesting way to do it, and it's vital for the preservation of our history and as told and recorded by our people.
The idea is that using people's time instead of funding does two things. It gets the work done, but it educates them about what it is. It involves them.
Typing it wasn't really much of a problem because there's other people to help you. You didn't have to really do it by yourself. If you needed help, you could ask a friend. And that's what I guess a lot of people are doing it, and it creates us to bond even closer as a school and student body.
I recently completed my 30th page last night, and I did it in honor of Dr. Chen because he has done so much for us at this school, and the least we can do to give back is just to take time out of our lives and type out a few pages for him.
Thanks to Dr. Chen, Kamehameha Schools students, along with the Ike Ku'oko'a movement, are radically changing the horizons of Hawaiian knowledge as their headmaster leaves his lasting mark upon students' hearts, the community, and the Hawaiian race.
I want your hearts. Let me explain. I want you to do service because that is all about giving of your hearts.
For HIKI NŌ, I'm Mackenzie Friel, Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama.
If you'd like to stay connected with what's happening on HIKI NŌ, log on to our Facebook page. It's filled with photos and current info regarding the show. You can also follow us on Twitter at HIKI NŌ Can Do. It's a great way to get reminders about upcoming episodes.
Now we're back at Kainalu Elementary, and I would like to report to you about Kainalu's Green Team. The purpose of our Green Team is to recycle paper and to help the environment. Every Monday, we collect paper from the recycling bins in the classrooms. The paper goes in a recycling dumpster, and a Oahu community recycling truck takes it to a recycling site in town.
Another thing that we do at Green Team is make recycled arts and crafts, like this soda tab bracelet and bottle cap magnets too.
We should all do our part to reduce, reuse, recycle.
And now, here's something special from one of our HIKI NŌ schools.
Courtney Brady is like every other teenager. She loves hanging with friends and family and is a pro-texter. Nowadays, everything seems to be normal, but Courtney's start to life was anything but ordinary.
When people first meet me, they always ask me about this scar that I have, and it's only because when I was 17 days old, I had a heart transplant, and nowadays I don't really notice the scar, but when I do, it always reminds me what I went through as a baby, and it just makes me feel proud that I'm alive today.
Back in 1984, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I found out about Courtney's defect while I was 5.5 months pregnant with her. After doing a major surgery, she was diagnosed with the right hypoplastic heart.
Doctors believe that the medicine her mother took for her Crohn's disease was the cause of Courtney's heart defect.
When we both first found out about Courtney having to have a heart transplant, we were worried, we were scared, didn't know what to expect.
Doctors say that Courtney's odds for making it through the surgery were slim but possible.
When Courtney went into surgery, it was a very scary time because we didn't know what could happen or would happen, and we prayed a lot. After about 10 hours, the doctor came out and said everything was very successful.
Even though Courtney and her family have been through a lot, it has only made them realize that you shouldn't take anything in life for granted.
I believe we have a very positive outlook on life. We try to spend as much time as we can with family and friends.
I view life as always being positive and never taking anything for granted because of the fact that I probably wouldn't have been here today without my surgery.
These past 17 years have been filled with a lot of happy and joyful events. But I think one of the most happiest has to have been watching Courtney graduate from high school.
My future plans after high school would have to be going into neonatal nursing because of how much I love babies and the fact that when I was in the hospital while I was a baby, nurses took care of me, and I just want to give back to other babies in the hospital who are ill or who have surgeries, and I just want to care for them the way the nurses cared for me while I was in the hospital.
So that someday she may be able to give another little girl a second chance at life. This is Lawson Fernandez from Kapaa High School for HIKI NŌ.
Kainalu School's JPO program consists of students in 5th and 6th grade. JPO stands for Junior Police Officer. JPOs report to school at 7:20 a.m. They open the car doors for the students and greet them. Being a JPO teaches us values of self-respect, being of service to others, and doing the right thing even when nobody is watching.
Kainalu JPOs! Kainalu Elementary! Dismiss! 1, 2, 3, 4, Kainalu JPOs!
Next is a story from the Big Island of Hawaii. Kealakehe High School has its own environmental superhero, Green Power Girl. She spreads her message of sustainability to young and old alike.
I got mixed up in a storm one day and became elected by the elements, sun, water, and wind, and Mother Nature to become Green Power Girl.
Hello everyone, Green Power Girl here, sent from Mother Nature, energy from the sun, and the wind, and the water, and I'm all about energy of the future and about getting off of our nasty fossil fuel habit.
Green Power Girl has appeared in over 1,500 presentations and environmental events since her creation in 2000. But how did this environmental superhero come to be? Let's talk to the woman beneath the renewable energy cape, Susan Cox.
So the superhero concept came about because I was doing these assemblies teaching kids about energy conservation, and it was so boring, and I thought I really need some help. And besides, I'm talking about energy, and we're talking about fossil fuels, and we're talking about changing the status quo. I mean, what can I do? I'm just a girl, at least when I started.
Now, some of you don't know this, but I am a recycling specialist.
I'm not doing this because I like dressing up. I'm doing this because I want to engage people in a different way. I'm doing this because I really do care about children of all creatures. I really do care about kids, and I really do care about the future of our planet.
Green Power Girl, very nice to meet you. Happy birthday today. That's not a fake, this is Smokey. You guys don't know Smokey? Smokey is epic, man.
Turn it on. Go ahead.
You didn't give him a hand!
Yeah, I think our biggest challenge in Hawaii is how do we stop relying so much on imports and really have a new mindset? Like, how do we look at systems in a different way? And how do we start to support our local infrastructure and really look at the way that the ancient Hawaiians, I mean, they were brilliant at sustainability. The ahupua system and how they grew their food and how they traded the things that they needed was a really good example of sustainability, and it wasn't that long ago. So we can really rely on ancient wisdom with new technologies to really lead the way and lead the world. When I came to Hawaii, I came here because I knew that if we could do it here on our island, we could be an example for the whole world, and I still believe that.
This is Brittany Denzer from Kealakehe High for HIKI NŌ.
Have you ever stopped to look in the mirror before you go to school to see if you're dressed properly? Let Castle High School show you how they adhere to their dress code.
Do you see what's wrong with this picture?
Me? No. What's wrong?
Everyone in this hallway is in dress code violation.
Really? I don't see any dress code violations.
Well, let's take a look at some of these kids. Look at this boy, for example. He's wearing a shirt with weapons on it. He clearly has a dress code violation.
Me? If this isn't in dress code, then how can I dress appropriately?
Well, dress like this.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna dress like this from now on.
Now, take a look at this girl.
Me? I thought this was okay to go to school in.
No. You need to dress in a shirt that covers your cleavage and that is not strapless.
Wow, this outfit is cute and school appropriate.
Now we're all in dress code.
Next up is a story from Hilo, Hawaii. Sometimes the simplest things can become our source of comfort and inspiration to get through life's challenges. At Waiakea High, one teacher has taken this to heart, using a very playful method to confront life's obstacles.
In art classes, it's not uncommon to find toys as props. However, it is unusual for this classroom, which has quite a large amount of them. At Waiakea High, Archer Kelly has dozens of toys and even brings them to her meetings for work.
It's funny because adults have the same kind of reaction to toys as kids do. You know, what do you got in the bag, or what do we have today?
She surprises others not only with the toys, but the unusual number of ducks that can be seen around her room. But this spirited teacher wasn't always laughing. She used to be serious and overworked, stressing herself out.
I had some physical problems. You know, I just was run down. I didn't really know what was going on.
Little did she know that a visit to her doctor would reveal so much more.
And went to see the doctor, and she said, wow, you know, there's something going on with you, and you need to go see a specialist. And so I did, and the specialist told me, you're going to have surgery in the next few days.
While recovering in the hospital, she was given a strange gift.
I was given a duck by a friend, and she said that you need to take things, problems of the day, and you need to treat them as if water off a duck's back, and you need to find laughter again.
Since then, this simple toy has turned into more.
Everybody in my life started giving me ducks. They started showing up in my car, ducks at my workplace, on my doorstep, in the mail, and so it became a symbol of learning how to laugh again. And with that, I think my whole idea about a life-threatening illness changed.
With the help of her friends and ducks, she began to enjoy life more than ever.
The thought that, wow, you might not be around tomorrow, this might be it. What's your bucket list? What are you going to do?
So she began to go through her list by traveling the world and taking pictures, even bringing along some of her toys.
Dinosaurs have gone to Rome, or on top of the summit of Mauna Kea, or ducks. Yeah, it's funny.
From going with her on trips to being the subject of her students' work, this plastic toy has transformed into more. They've changed her life and inspired many others.
Happy accidents, maybe.
This is Brittany Rutledge from Waiakea High School for HIKI NŌ.
If you'd like to stay connected with what's happening on HIKI NŌ, log on to our Facebook page. It's filled with photos and current info regarding the show. You can also follow us on Twitter at HIKI NŌ Can Do. It's a great way to get reminders about upcoming episodes.
Our next story takes us to the Garden Isle. Let's go to Kekula Niihau o Kekaha and meet a special paniolo who whispers.
Our next paniolo, Herman Kaohilaoli'i. Grew up on the island of Niihau. Herman learned to train horses while working for Niihau Ranch.
May kay kanoan. May kay kanoan. Ko wa kahit kono, ko wa kamali. May kay kono. Popoy ka ano me ka. Ko dioan. Ko wa kamali ino, wa opipio. Niihau no, ko me audio ko mako mo papai. Me ko mak ko mauno makiki mako ko i ai kalio. Ba ko mo mako ne oya makimake me kaudio. Dio me ho ai kaudio. Ele ia nani ya o yoli ko plal. E dua ma. Me ai kalio. Ke mana ki oi ko nalio. Eri ka ai ka me ko holo ala mi ka kaya ka kalio ualu e como lo ia e kai kalio ho ai la kai ai ho la kai e ke ia mana ya ana kalio me kai ro ali ke me mamu ali ke me mamu na uno me e o ko dio e ka kai no kion Keraku. Ali ke me ke manawa, ali tal te hiki ai ke lai mi ke ali o pipio, ko mi ke pa poi. O ai ke manawa. Kana ko holo ana loko, holo poi ho huri a kau ho huri kema. Pau ke la, poi ka palilio. Honi ai parilio. apu hamo mikikal. Kina manapo ko de malima minut kipa ikalu apa. Ana pai kino. Ana aya pai kino wa kawali me yaya mai. Wa pelele me dunda. Kau minu no oi. Opu yaya holo poi poi. E mana hidi kidio. Kula i kidio di kume. Me dakato kamli. Olohe oye ole uyai. Mekano ka ona kidio. Ne ku ai kidio holi hediki au. Julian hediki au. Ku ai au Helen hediki au. Nane na kona mea makai weno ia ai. No keni holo poi. Kena weno. Ligana makakamli kula. Kau awan. Mike.
Mai ki kula niau ki ka o wau o Keoki Strickland ma HIKI NŌ PBS Hawaii.
Well, that's all for this week's show. We hope you've enjoyed the stories that were shared from all around our islands.
So join us next week to see what the students of Hawaii can do on HIKI NŌ. It's only on PBS Hawaii.
We now leave you with a montage of Kainalu's May Day program.
Aristocrats do not fight. Aristocrats behave like ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Mama. Now, time for music practice. But, Mama, it's important to have a well-rounded education. You never know when a knowledge of music might come in handy. Do, mi, so, mi, 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 do. Every truly cultured music student knows they lessen your scales and your arpeggios. Bring the music ringing from your chest and not your nose, while you sing your scales and your arpeggios. I hate that noise. I wish I could get those cats to stop that sound. I wish I could ship them where they won't be found. I take them far away and when it wake up goodness knows there's no more singing skids and they're arpeggios. I've got it! Oh no! That will put them to sleep. Then I can cat them and leave them somewhere I never have to hear them again. What and all they felt. I was empty. I slept. Dropped somewhere in the state. Then I went up really rich. Ha 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 ha.
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ.